Fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Introducing the new LuSelect Virtual Service Desk, where one click is your access to every service. From my account to streetlight reports, requests for payment arrangements to settle arrears, change of name and address. Easy online forms give you access from anywhere and at any time. Every service you need at your fingertips. Go to our website, luselect.com, and click on the Virtual Service Desk widget. LuSelect's Virtual Service Desk. Every solution at your fingertips.
And he's done it! He's done it!
For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is confirmed through rain and storm. Mortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar punks are running wild in the street and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that is like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
It was the leader of the opposition. Now a government minister has written a letter to the island's police commissioner, Descat Peleus. Here's hoping that we'll hear from her very soon because a response is long overdue from the nation's top cop. Also coming up in the broadcast, we'll be hearing from the Director of Met Services in St. Lucia. There's a weather system that is posing a threat to a number of islands, particularly in the leewards. St. Lucia can also feel its effects as well, but not in the form of a hurricane. Still to come on this afternoon's program, we'll be hearing from the former Prime Minister, Dr. Kenny Anthony. Remember, we've been making reference to him saying that there are hot spots in VA4 which cannot be patrolled by the island's police. So we'll be hearing from him, that reminder, in just a moment. Welcome to another edition of NewsSpin right here on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on YouTube and the NewsSpin Facebook page. Kimani is here and she'll be going through some of your comments in the chat room. And I'll be hearing from you in just a bit at 452-2979. That's 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. So Government Minister and MP for Castries Central, Mr. Richard Frederick, responded to the President of the Police Welfare Association. That is in light of the revelation about a week ago by the MP that he receives files and files of information or reports or whatever it is from law enforcement, from the police. And this prompted a reaction from Mr. Cameron Law in his capacity as president of the Police Welfare Association. So I don't know if we all set to hear from Mr. Richard Frederick. No, not yet. But momentarily we'll be hearing from him. A clip extracted from his broadcast last evening on his talk show, Can I Help You? So we have a lot in store to share with you, including a claim as well by the local government minister, Richard Frederick, that he was bribed by then government minister Guy Joseph. And Mr. Frederick says within the next fortnight, he will be issuing a report to the island's police commissioner, making an official report to the police commissioner regarding being offered a bribe by Mr. Guy Joseph. And this report will be forwarded to the top cop within the next fortnight. So we'll be hearing from him on that as well. So we have, again, a lot to share with you on the political front, and also will be monitoring that weather system. And Tammy updated to a hurricane, and just yesterday, NEMAC, which consists of various government agencies, and including NEMO, they would have met yesterday, and that is to plan for that system. So realizing that it was not posing a direct threat to St. Lucia, the authorities, in particular the Ministry of Education, decided that there should be classes today, and business operations as usual are in effect. But in the case of a number of islands, for example, the likes of Guadeloupe, Antigua and Barbuda, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla, St. Martin, as well as St. Barthélemy, they are currently under hurricane watch, while a tropical storm warning is in effect for Dominica, Barbados, Martinique, Saba, and St. Eustatius. So we'll be having a report in just a moment, and that report is by the Director of Met Services, Andre Dry. You'll be hearing from him in just a bit. So please, how are you doing so far?
Good afternoon, Tim. I am doing good.
Good afternoon, because that's how it normally starts, you know. It's
cool and team.
Yeah, very cordial, you know, until somebody lobs some kind of explosive in the chat room.
But we do have one comment. Someone says, Tim, just letting all our customers know that the Breadfruit Corner restaurant and bar in La Fée closed today because it was broken into by thieves this morning. Very sad day. That's it.
Absolutely. So, I mean, those things are a serious setback to business owners and business operators in our country. But I always wonder whether business entities on the island, they are doing enough to secure their operations. If you have a business, for example, you have some kind of security alarm that will alert you. The technology is there. That's the same thing we say for the police and for the state, to alert you that somebody has broken into your establishment.
You don't think
It's as if people are there like lame ducks, going to their businesses and just hoping somehow it will not be burgled or burglarized.
It is expensive, Tim. For
Continue.
it is it is expensive to secure security or maintain security at your establishment. Now, I mean, of course, you may say that a life is a lot more.
Well, not a life, but what is most expensive? What could be a toll on you financially in the end, in the long run? That if your business is broken into time after time, then people are stealing your stuff. That adds up. Then you lose business operating hours. That adds up. You might as well just make the investment. Take a loan and secure your premises. You will be reaping the reward long term.
Very true.
It is worth the investment. For example, you have shows and entertainment activities taking place around the island, and sometimes very little emphasis is placed on security. Okay? So the bulk of the money is used to purchase items, the chicken, the alcohol, and so on. What about the security? What about ensuring that you have an ambulance on standby in the event that somebody is hurt, somebody is injured, somebody is ill, so you take them to the hospital, etc. So you could save yourself a whole lot in terms of your reputation, in terms of security, in terms of somebody losing their life while they're participating in your activity. Certainly that could give your business establishment a bad name, you know. So there's need for you to, in the initial stages, make the necessary investment so that there could be rewards that you could reap long term. All right, we are trying to see if we could get some of our clips all set and ready for you. Please bear with us.
I do have another comment in the
Yes,
chat.
go ahead.
Someone says, Tim, what else one to do? Cameras and security system don't stop the thieves. That's a fair point.
I think there is always something that you can do if it is your business and you are desperately seeking to ensure that you protect your stuff, you ensure that you secure your establishment. There must be a couple things that you can do. And even the big businesses, they do not invest enough on security to protect their customers and to protect their staff and to ensure that the items, are not stolen. They're not victims of robberies. So that is a big issue. We need to do that because we know for a fact that those guys are there, they are looking. They're just waiting to pounce on you. Just do not give them the opportunity to do so. Let me see if I have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says there are cameras online which have notifications sent to your phone whenever there is a movement near your property.
That is true.
All right? Okay. So stop making excuses for those people. Another person says, somebody says, Tim, Aaron came on TV and talk his whatever on TV. I'm asking Aaron, when will the minister release the prisoners convicted of marijuana promised by him? Another one. So, Tim, you are saying those hotspots police can't go. The residents or those that pose a threat don't leave that area. If yes, what happens when they are cited by the police? Do they run? LOL. So those are some of the WhatsApp messages we have received so far. And we're getting all set to hear from some of the individuals who will be highlighted in our broadcast this afternoon, because we are all set, as always, every day, to have an interesting and revealing NewsSpin broadcast, and we're just waiting to upload our content to share with you, starring a number of people, and we'll be also making an effort to establish contact with several people as well during the course of the program, because we all know in St. Lucia people make allegations, and there are instances when people have to therefore clarify and defend themselves because of claims that will be made from time to time. Let me see. I don't know if there are any other comments in the chat room. Go ahead, please. Kimani?
Someone says, this whole political landscape is on fire. That's why I keep telling the people, speak about what you know. Don't just pick up things and run with it. Things are so bad in St. Lucia, not even storms want to pass through the country. Another comment, might I ask, how is it that a cabinet member can have a radio or talk show as a private citizen? Isn't that a conflict and places them in the heart of state secrets, and ultimately they can use this to their political advantage? Another comment in the chat room. Someone is saying, the problem is St. Lucia, we all are the law. We are the jury and hangman too. Can you see that's the things dividing us? Someone is asking, when are we having a show about domestic violence? Another comment, Tim, putting cameras and alarms don't stop these thieves. We see it all the time where the guys enter businesses and even look into the cameras. In the chat room, Guy would offer a bribe to RF and he would not take it. Tell him to show the proof of that. That's about it, Tim.
And this allegation by Mr. Richard Frederick has been made over several years now. And I'm wondering why at this 11th hour he wants to write the island's police commissioner on it. We all know, I think he said that as well, there isn't a statute of limitation on acts of that nature, but I'm just questioning the timing. And that is the thing in St. Lucia. We make all kind of allegations, but we never want to go as far as possible with it in terms of ensuring that whatever claim that we make is prosecuted in one way or the other so that the truth can be told. I think very often people are hoping that if you make an allegation against someone and it can prove negative and detrimental to them and their career, in this case, if it is a politician, then the people will decide not to vote for them. We also have our NewsSpin question of the day. Somebody tell me, this was a little tough, the phrasing, the way I phrased that question. Of what use is Police Commissioner Poleon? And we have some of your responses that I will endeavor to go through as soon as possible. And people have been commenting in the chat room, so we'll try to go through as many of those comments as possible. Somebody says, oh my God, Tim, is that nice? Another person says, does Tim's style of mental programming have the potential to create an angrier society? Is Tim conditioned by angry wannabe politicians who will never lift the political weights? The other person says, have some respect for the commissioner. What's wrong with you people? Shaking my damn head. Another one says, gosh man, NewsSpin is getting out of control. I wonder if you Tim decide to go and kill someone, how can the commissioner know about it? We're not saying the commissioner should know about any crimes that are about to occur, will occur. She cannot read the minds of criminals, but I'm sure that she can employ various tactics, to send a message to criminal elements in St. Lucia that their misdeeds will not go unpunished and efforts will be made to thwart their illegal acts. We have some more comments. Tim, you need to grow up. Why the rage? Why the angry provocation? For once, please promote peace and love and appreciation. Please stop spreading the venom. What is so venomous about asking that question about our police commissioner, our law enforcer? She just recently, she retired from the force, given another bite at the cherry to serve at the helm of the island's main law enforcement agency for another year. So what's wrong regarding asking a question of her? And finally, somebody says, imagine some people are mad at Tim and NewsSpin for asking pertinent questions and are happy with the Prime Minister, Richard Frederick, and the rest. Shaking my head. Okay, we might as well open the lines at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Are we ready in terms of the clips? Okay, we are ready. So we will hear from the Castries Central MP, Housing Minister Richard Frederick, reacting to Cameron Law. And this is the statement that Cameron Law made just a few days ago on the program, The Threesome in the Morning, right here on Power 97.9 FM. And what he was doing at the time was saying, with regard to the revelation by the minister, that he has files and files of information that he received from the police. The president of the PWA said that this is illegal and this should be investigated, and called for the intervention of the island's police commissioner, Mrs. Melius. This is the PWA president, Cameron Law.
He said that he received the police gave him the information.
Yes.
I will start by saying this. One of the biggest issues facing the police in terms of public distrust and, public not having faith in the police. And you hear it all the time. People say, the police give out information, and the police, somebody makes a report, and by the time they turn it back, the police would have called, the person that they're reporting, and they would have given the information. We have tried our best, I think, as a force to put systems in place to mitigate those issues. And so you have the crime hotline, and persons can report anonymously and so on, so that the identity and the details of the report does not, the police does not give it out. In this instance, it is sad that it has happened, and you have a government official, at the highest level, indicating to the public openly that the police is actually doing that. And it is a form of corrupt practice. And it is that this person has condoned the police giving out information as it pertains to an individual that they may have been investigating. Now, this is wrong. It cannot be acceptable. And I think it is something that, even from the office of the commissioner has to speak out against. We have to admonish these behaviors when it happens. And so I think it is sad that it had to happen, and I think it's sad that it was brought out in the open, by the individual who brought it out. And I will call on the commissioner even to speak out and to speak to police officers, because corruption, there are instances when you could engage in corrupt practice on your own. But in a lot of instances, you need somebody else to facilitate that type of corruption. You understand? And this is,
it can't be just one person.
It can't be just one person. And so we have to speak against it. We cannot condone it, and it seemed like it was being condoned even by the person who received the information, given the position that this person holds in the government of St. Lucia. So it is sad, and the Police Welfare Association, strongly speaks out against it. And ask even the commissioner to speak out against it.
And all what I say, I have a file big so. I have a file big so. Because the police officers just started feeding me with the information I needed. And all what I say, I have a file big so. I have a file big so. Because the police officers just started feeding me with the information I needed.
So that was the initial statement that was made by Richard Frederick on his program, Can I Help You?, made on Thursday of last week. Now, a few days later, that'll be a Monday of this week, we heard from Mr. Cameron Law, and we played that clip earlier on. This is what, in response, the MP for Castries Central said last evening on his program.
Cameron Law, you ever investigate a case? You ever went to court? Because I cannot believe Cameron Law will latch on to the foolishness that Shasta spews. But then again, Cameron, I understand where you're coming from. Because it's only in St. Lucia under Flabo, a police officer will get involved in a runoff today, lose the runoff, and is back at work tomorrow. Only in St. Lucia. Only in St. Lucia, Cameron Law, that will happen. So I understand. Your party was in power. You take part in a Mohani Oje, good night. You take part in a runoff, lose the runoff, and you're back at work. Your party in power. And so you latch on. That's why I had to ask somebody, Cameron Law has ever been to court? Has he ever been engaged in investigative policing? I had to ask. But if you want investigations, there are many investigations to be conducted, Cameron Law. You know there are police officers who have been waiting for the little contribution that you'll make to the burial expenses. Notwithstanding, you'll collect $60-something from over 1,100 police officers every month. Where does that money go to, by the way? Where does it go to? And where's the money that you all had collected for the raffle that never took place? Where's that money? Where's that money? You know? So if you want something to investigate, go and investigate those things. Conduct investigation and lay charges.
So you just heard there from the housing minister last evening. To the best of my recollection, Mr. Cameron Law did not participate in a runoff to contest any seat in the run-up to the last general election. So we have, I'm hoping that we have Mr. Cameron Law online right now via WhatsApp. Let's see if we can engage him. Hello, good afternoon to you, Mr. Law.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir. You would have heard the reaction that was made by the housing minister to your initial comment on the Power 97.9 program, the threesome in the morning, when you asked for the police commissioner to issue a statement in light of his revelation that he has received files and files of information from the police. What's your response to his reaction last evening?
Timothy, I don't even know now. I've gotten a chance to calm down a bit, whether to laugh at the minister or to actually take him seriously. But at no time did I ask for an investigation into any matter. I understand that, and think of it logically. An investigation into this would be an exercise in futility. The minister would not give the names of any police officer who would have given him information. But he had an excuse as to what type of information and how, and justified the actions of or tried to justify the actions of the police officer. But you would have remembered a few programs ago of the minister when he said that a particular police officer made a report against him. And the police officer, whilst the police officer was making the report, he was already receiving information, phone calls from police officers to let him know that a police officer is making a report against him. You know, so it even compounds the issue that it happens, at least to him, the information goes. And that matter has never been investigated. You understand? So the minister continues to make statements, especially where I'm concerned, that is false and has absolutely no basis. You know, the minister made some statements last night to suggest, and it's not the first time that he has made those statements, to suggest that I took part in a runoff and I am still a police officer. He has said categorically that I should not be a police officer because I took part in a runoff. That is false. I have never taken part in a runoff. At absolutely no time have I taken part in a runoff. Right? So, you know, this, in some of the cases, the minister has gone as far as saying in programs before that I beat a woman so bad that her son had to intervene. Right? These are statements that the minister has made about me that is false. As it relates to these statements, I will be engaging my legal counsel to decide the way forward on that. I will not stand idly by and allow the minister, time and time again, to malign my name. For whatever reason, you know, I will not allow it to happen. I think it is time the minister stops, and the minister needs to understand, you know, that when he speaks, as whether he speaks in his private capacity, the fact is he's a minister, right? And what he says goes a very, very long way in influencing the minds of people. and might even be detrimental to the persons that he speak of, and I will not be one of those victims. The minister spoke of investigating a raffle that the Police Welfare Association had some time ago. That was before my time. When I came in, I inherited the situation when persons started to inquire about a raffle that the Welfare Association had, and they have not heard anything about it. What we have done, we have written to the persons who would have formed part of that committee and asked for an explanation as to what has happened, where is that raffle at this point, and what to know what we should do, to remedy that situation. I must tell you that we have gotten some of the information. We have actually received some records of raffle books and other recordings of that raffle. So we will be responding to those persons who would have bought tickets and were inquiring. The minister went further to speak of our police distress fund. And these things are very serious against him. And it goes to show that the police officers are providing information. Because for him to speak of the distress fund and us not being able to facilitate some payments, that is information that has to come from the police. So every time he speaks, he compounds the issue of police providing information, and he needs to stop. And that's why I will continue to call the commissioner to speak to the police. You understand? Speak to the officers. And I, as the president of the Welfare Association, is asking police officers to refrain from that practice. I will continue to do so. We need to be professional. Right? As it pertains to the distress fund, every police officer pays $20 towards that fund. $20. At the end of a given month, you may have $25,000 being collected. And I inherited the situation, the current situation. I inherited it. Every police officer, upon the death of a parent, any parent, both parents, the spouse, and children of any police officer, that police officer is entitled to $5,000. There are police officers with 2 and 3 and 4 siblings in the police force. Like me, I have 2 other siblings. If a parent dies, each of these police officers receive $5,000. On average, per month, we receive at least 6 to 7 deaths applications. That is already way over what we're collecting. For years now, before I became president of the Welfare Association, even in my first stint, I remember presidents lamenting the fact that the fund is not sustainable and it needs to be increased. I remember commissioners coming to welfare meetings asking the membership to increase the funds. So it has gotten to a point where, of course, we have 60, the 60 that he spoke of, we have 60 applications, and I will speak openly about it. 60 applications that are pending. And me coming in, inheriting the situation, as an executive, we have done everything, and we can safely say, based on the systems that we are putting in place, we will be able to pay out all of those persons pending before this year is over. Every single one of them. More so, this distress fund also has to find ways of paying out or making a contribution to persons who find themselves in other distress situations, whether it is medical, whether it's a natural disaster strikes and you would receive damages. We have to, as a committee, sit down, look at the applications, and make some sort of contribution to those people. So it has been unsustainable for a very long time. So coming in now, which is one of the mandates, and I have said today, we must ensure that we bring this thing back to a place where we can safely facilitate all applications that come through. And I could say now that with whatever is being put in place, we will be able to safely do that. Of course, there must be an increase with it. So I'm not going to speak too much on the minister's assertions. I have spoken to the Prime Minister in the past about the behavior of the minister and the things that he has said concerning me. The minister has got my wife's good name, my deceased wife, into disrepute. I've said nothing. Persons have asked me, Cameron, don't worry about the minister. Everybody knows the minister and nobody really takes him serious, but I don't agree with that. So now I think enough is enough. I will not stand for it anymore. I've spoken to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister assured me that he will speak to the minister about it, because I said to the Prime Minister, if the minister continues, I will not sit quietly. I can respond, and I will respond. There are a lot of things, and the police, Tim. But I will say, at this point, that is all I'm prepared to say, and I will seek my legal advice as to the way forward in terms of the defamation as it pertains to me being in a runoff, which has never happened, me beating a woman so bad that her son had to intervene. This has never happened. And so I will explore my options.
Well, let me ask you a few questions, sir. Why do you think, after speaking with the Prime Minister, that this continued? Or did you get the impression that speaking to the Prime Minister would have resulted in this practice not being repeated?
I expected it to have stopped, because the conversation, I mean, there was the situation that was brought into the public domain, albeit not through the fault of the Welfare Association, and I mean, I had to respond to certain things that were being said as it pertains to the sexual allegations. So, in the meetings, we said, Mr. Prime Minister, we at the Welfare Association will not be speaking publicly on this issue. We will allow the commissioner to put the systems in place to deal with it. And we have refrained from speaking publicly. I've been asked about it before. So we expected the minister to have ceased the attacks on me. And it's okay to criticize me, if I've said something. It's okay. Anybody could criticize me. But to go as far as maligning my name and insinuating that the issues with the Welfare Association as it relates to the funds that needs to be investigated, that cannot be acceptable. We will not accept it. So yes, I expected him to have stopped, but there seemed to be something deeper that is causing him to, every time my name comes up, to say things that he knows not to be true.
What about the revelation by the minister? What kind of damage do you think that this has done to the already tarnished reputation of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force? Because, I mean, you know that. You have been a police officer for a quarter of a century, 25 years. And many people are listening and watching this broadcast right now. They can attest to, without carrying out any survey, that many St. Lucians are saying they do not trust the police. How do you think does that affect relations between members of the public and the police in St. Lucia?
Tim, this has further caused, I believe, at this point, it is almost irreparable. I cannot see us going back to a place anytime soon where the public feels comfortable, providing that type of information to us. Of course, you're hearing of, the number of homicides. There are people who may have seen and witnessed, but they refuse to come forward because they are fearful that coming forward would cause the persons to know that they may have provided information. And look at the spate of crime. The spate of crime in St. Lucia now needs the assistance of the public for it to be brought under control. The public needs to be able to trust the police, and for these things to be said and to actually give credence that it is happening. We have, it has taken us light years backwards. Light years backwards.
What do you think?
So I really believe the commissioner has a lot of work to do, a very daunting task ahead of her in, bringing back some semblance of confidence, to the police from the public.
You have asked for the police commissioner, Cressida Descartes-Pelius, to address the police and whether it's being done or not, the practice of sharing information with a government minister. What about, quite apart from addressing the police, should the police commissioner address the St. Lucian public?
That is left for the police commissioner to decide as to whether she wants to address the public at large or not. I'm not going to even opine on it. I think, the public can demand to hear from the commissioner if they really want to. I think we have the journalists and so on. They could find the commissioner. She has an office. They know where to find her and ask the pertinent questions so that, the public could know the position of the commissioner on this.
Finally, what do you expect from the Prime Minister? Because you said you've had conversations with him. Do you plan to speak with the Prime Minister again?
Well, the Prime Minister, and I must say, the Prime Minister has always made himself available anytime the Welfare Association has called or has asked to meet. So, of course, we expect to meet with the Prime Minister in the near future. It's unfortunate that we have not met for this month. We were supposed to have met, and he has been out. But we expect to meet, and of course, it will be brought up again. And I'm expecting, I don't know what to expect in terms of him causing the minister to stop, to curb the behavior of being out there maligning, members of the Welfare Association.
Final comments from you, Mr. Law?
Thank you, Brother Tim. Thank you very much. I just want the police officers to know that the Police Welfare Association stands ready to make representation for them at any point in time. It is necessary. We believe in professionalism as an organization, and I am calling on police officers to exercise professionalism in the day-to-day duties. We have a job to do it without fear or favor, but at the same time, we need to be professional in the way we behave.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for speaking with us on NewsSpin.
No problem.
You just heard there from the president of the Police Welfare Association, Mr. Cameron Law. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It's called NewsSpin. Please stay with us.
Contact Lucelec before trimming or cutting down trees that are near overhead electrical wires. Watch out for power lines before you begin working on a ladder. Be sure that ladders or scaffolds are far enough away so that you and the ends of the tools you're using don't come within 10 feet of power lines. And never use any electrical appliance in wet surrounding outdoors or in the rain.
This message is brought to you by Lucelec, the power of care.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbouté at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
And he's done it! He's done it! Oh my goodness, it's gone!
The party is back! Premier Sports Inc. presents the KMC SPL T20! Powered by the National Lotteries Authority. Will defending champions Choiseul Craft Master owners retain their crown? Or will they be pulled down? From October 13th to the 28th at the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds and Grosley Playing Field. Grab your tickets now. Sol Gas Station in Grosley, Amici Restaurant and Bar in Rodney Bay, Riverside Car Park in Castries, Soufre Foundation in Soufre, Monrepo, Chevelle, and Labrie Credit Union. Tickets are only $15 for adults, $5 for children. VIP $65 and $85. The party is back. The KFC SPLT 20, powered by the National Lotteries Authority. Show them how to party.
Things are heating up at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We've got some red-hot deals just for you with 100% financing. Rev up for some excitement with our incredible vehicle loan offer. Building or renovating, we've got you covered. Or pack up for that ideal getaway. This offer won't be available forever. Visit us today and take advantage of this limited time deal. Don't miss out on these fantastic deals with 100% financing. Only at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We're your friend when you're in need.
The Ministry of Commerce, in collaboration with the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan, presents the 16th Annual St. Lucia, Taiwan Partnership Trade Show at the Pavilion on the ramp in Rodney Bay, Grosley, from Friday, November 3rd to Sunday, November 5th, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily. Come, support the creativity of 69 local entrepreneurs and 16 Taiwanese businesses, including ICT and business solutions, food and beverage, and so much more. We will be hosting lots of fun games and activities for kids. Relax and enjoy the nightly live entertainment. Saturday features carefree karaoke with fantastic prizes up for grabs. Then on Sunday, we culminate in grand style with a strictly local fashion show and live comedy from Cox Productions. Don't miss out. Free shuttle service provided from the Baywalk Shopping Mall and back. Come witness the emergence of our next generation of entrepreneurs.
Fast Pay, a new and easy way to pay. Fast Pay, Fast Pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
Fast Pay, 2 minutes and you're on your way. Fast Pay, Fast Pay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come, visit Sadu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Can't get a break from all this tax? Head to Automotive Art and get a taxcation. Automotive Art is offering you an ease from VAT and health and safety levy with savings of up to 15% and more. That's right, 15% of all tools, 15% of all accessories, 15% of car detailing, 15% of all rims, 15% of computerized wheel alignment, and 15% and more of selected tires with savings of up to 30% on some sizes. It's Automotive Art Taxcation. Visit us at Automotive Art at Vidbutai Castries and Latuni for today and enjoy a taxcation. Offer valid for limited time. Some conditions apply. See stores for details.
Are you working that 9-to-5 job but also juggling a side hustle? Well, Elks Credit Union has great news for you. Introducing Elks Credit Union Side Hustle Boost Loan. Need funds to take your side hustle to the next level? With our Side Hustle Boost Loan, you can access up to $50,000, giving your side hustle the boost it needs. And here's the best part. You'll have up to 5 years to pay back with flexible repayment options that suits your budget. Whether it's expanding your inventory, upgrading your equipment, or marketing your services, Elks Credit Union is here to support your entrepreneurial dreams. Don't let your side hustle remain just a dream. Let Elks Credit Union empower you to turn it into a thriving reality. Boost your side hustle today with Elks Credit Union's Side Hustle Boost Loan. Contact us now or visit our website for more information. Elks Credit Union, your partner in success. Terms and conditions apply.
It's coming. The brunch of the century. Welcome to Sunburnt. Sunday, November 26th. Sunburnt. It's coming.
Hear from you right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. And of course, Kimani will be going through some of your messages or your discussions in the chat room. But let's see if we have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Afternoon, Tim.
Hi. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, I want to ask you one question, Tim. What is the role of National Security Minister, Tim?
Yeah, that's a question.
Can you answer that question, Tim?
Caller,
Yes,
it's
Tim.
basically to ensure that the policies are implemented, are instituted to maintain security in our country. At our borders, our police ensure that they function properly, so that you do not at any point in time compromise the security of the state and its citizens.
Okay, Tim, and I want to say to that, because I'm hearing the Prime Minister speaking that his role is just to put in policies like you say and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But doesn't the national security supposed to be following up, and if the strategies are working, if the strategies are not working? Because clearly it is not working. And right now our police force is being compromised. We're not hearing from the commissioner. The impact report is looming over the government's head. He was deputy prime minister. He was deputy prime minister under Kenny Anthony when Kenny Anthony came on national television and said they are businessmen who are facilitators of crime. And we cannot deal with crime from the bottom up. We have to deal with it from the top going down. So we are in a very, I believe the national security minister should fire himself. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Do we have any calls on the landline, Mr. Producer? No, not yet. Okay, 452-2979. And of course, we have your WhatsApp calls. We have another call on line. Hello, this is NewsSpin. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, Tim. How are you?
I'm okay, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
Yes, this is Fortuna Belrose. Whenever I hear organizations and leaders call, I'm always passionate, about the work that they do. And, as a former minister, I know on the assumption of, taking on the role as minister, there are some documents that are presented to you, from the Cabinet Office. You get a copy of the Constitution, you get a copy of the standing orders, you get a copy of the public service orders, you also get a copy of the ministerial code. And that ministerial code is very important because it spells out for you your role and how your prime minister expects you to perform in public. And so this ministerial code speaks to the high standard of conduct that is required, the conformity or the principles of accountability and collective responsibility, as well as individual responsibility, ministerial conduct, observance of the principles of public life, and how ministers must be careful not to bring the government into disrepute by their private activities. So I don't know if you have seen this or have a copy, Tim, but it would be good for the nation to go through this document, you understand, with you at some point in time, because I think it is important, because I'm getting a sense that perhaps the minister never received this. He does not know about it, because clearly from what we're saying, he's diminishing what is happening in our society. And clearly from everything else, he is undermining the integrity or the authority of our public institutions. You cannot have a young police officer, Mr. Law, trying to defend his name, against lies perpetrated by a minister. That is wrong. Our society cannot accept this. You cannot have an institution like the National NHC being hijacked in the way that it was, and matters even having to go to Parliament for endorsement and approval, with the wrongness that was done. Wrongness, I say. So it is important that we get an understanding of that ministerial code as a nation so we can see where the issues are. But it hurts my heart as a former public servant to see how public servants now have to defend themselves, you understand, from people who are supposed to be protecting them. This is wrong. We cannot stand for this. And Kim, from your position, I'll make a copy of the code available to you so you can have it for discussion, every now and then. And you can inquire from the Prime Minister whether he issued that kind of code to his members. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'm angry, Tim.
Thank
I'm
you so
already
much.
angry.
Yes, I could sense it. Thank you so much for calling, ma'am. You just heard there from Fortuna Belrose, former government minister in the previous administration. We continue with your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Good afternoon, you're on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
NewsSpin?
Yes, sir, you are on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, please. I have a question for you. Can you tell me how many farmers there are in St. Lucia?
Farmers?
Yes.
I honestly don't know, caller.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah. Well, I would like if you can get that information for me. You can put it out on here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to know how the fertilizer which is given by Morocco is being distributed, because it seems to be a very prejudiced position.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
And some of the smaller people are being dispositioned. And because government is asking the people in the island to grow the food and eat the food that they grow, then you need to get up this partisan thing of leaving out certain people because they're not in line with whatever the norm is there in terms of the friends and that kind of thing, right?
Are you a farmer, caller?
Yes, I am.
And you're impacted?
Yes.
Okay. All right. If somebody from the Ministry of Agriculture is listening, maybe they could call or provide me with the information via WhatsApp, the number of farmers in St. Lucia.
Yes.
And where do you have your farm? In what area are you farming?
In the south.
In the south. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Not the first time I'm hearing this complaint coming from members of the public saying that fertilizer is being given primarily or only or mostly to supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party. One of the comments that was made by the Castries Central MP last evening on his program is that he will be writing to the island's police commissioner shortly. And according to him, he'll be making an official report to the police commissioner regarding being offered a bribe by the government minister in the previous administration, Mr. Guy Joseph. Let us listen.
I have made up my mind that within the next 2 weeks, for sure, I will be making an official report to the Commissioner of Police against Guy Joseph for attempted bribery. I will be making the report. I will write my statement, and I will hand over my statement to the police. For whatever it's worth, bribery does not carry a limitation period. And I will, in my statement, indicate that I immediately spoke to Stevenson King, who himself indicated to me that Guy had offered him $5 million.
You just heard there from MP for Castries, the Central Housing Minister, Mr. Richard Frederick. And incidentally, we have Mr. Guy Joseph on the line right now. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Guy Joseph.
Good afternoon, team, and how are you doing?
I am okay, Mr. Joseph. This is not the first time we've heard from Mr. Richard Frederick that you offered him a bribe. That's when you were minister in the previous administration. And you also offered then Prime Minister Stephen King a bribe. So this would have occurred allegedly occurred between 2011 and 2016 when Mr. Stephen King was Prime Minister. What say you to that, sir? This is a strong and serious allegation.
2000, no,
When was that?
2016, not 2011. 2011 to 2016, we were in opposition team. So that would have occurred
2007 and 2011.
And 11.
Yes,
yes.
sorry.
So it is very interesting that this is coming out now again, team, because both persons had the opportunity to take the appropriate action at the time. Now, I will not make any direct comment on this because I have received legal advice as of this morning. And Tim, for the third time, I have gone to lawyers to request that a case be filed on behalf of defamation in this matter. This is not the first time. From the very first time it was said. And you know what advice I was given by everybody? Boy, leave this thing alone. It's for your own. Got this interesting law earlier today. It's the same thing. This minister believes that he can say what he. And I give examples of other things. My wife had come to make a presentation to cabinet and I was chairing cabinet and that never happened to him. And I went to the lawyers, I gave them the information and everybody was, boy, for your own sake, leave this thing alone. I am seeing a program to dating that whatever action that is to be taken will be taken. I welcome the initiative by the minister because I think I will have the opportunity to clear my name on this matter once and for all. Because ever heard of those allegations it was for?
Mr. Joseph, Mr. Joseph, can you repeat? Because we have some problems. We have hearing you properly. Can you go ahead?
Okay, I was asking, have you ever heard what the attempted bribery was for?
No, I've never heard what the bribery was for, no.
That's very interesting that a minister of government will come.
Okay, my apologies to you.
Times.
Mr. Joseph, can you call at 452-2979? We need to hear you clearly.
Right.
452-2979. Call right now. 452-2979. Okay, so we'll try to clear the line so that Mr. Joseph can call us. So we await that call because I think we need to listen to him and understand exactly what he is saying in response to the claim that was made by Mr. Richard Frederick. I'm hoping that that is Mr. Guy Joseph. I think that we saw a call coming in. We'll try to get that call. Please don't call. We're trying to get Mr. Guy Joseph on the line. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, Tim.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
That is a lot better now. Go ahead, Mr. Joseph.
Yes, Tim. This thing has been hanging over me for a period of time. And I'm happy that the minister has indicated that he is going to make a formal report to the Commissioner of Police on this matter. I welcome this thing because I too would like to know what bribe I offered and for what. Because I am a bit lost as to why would I have to offer a colleague minister in government a bribe? A bribe for what? So that is something. I think on one occasion he had insinuated that it had something to do with the airport project.
but he was not involved in the EPOC project in any way. So this minister continues to just spin. So the pressure that is put on him today for his statements, you saw the angle which he went to on Mr. Law, Cameron Law, that it's about this and it's about that, but he refuses to answer. So while he is, I hope when he brings the letter to the commissioner, that the commissioner picks him up the same time to answer questions, because here's the difficulty I have, team, with what is happening. And I'm not one bit perturbed by the statement made by Richard Frederick. I believe that Richard Frederick is acting on behalf of the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, and that's my belief. The government said they were going to investigate me. Do you remember they went after Lindquist again, and they said, you recall the Prime Minister saying he has re-engaged Lindquist?
Yeah, this was
to
said there.
Investigate him. You recall that?
Yeah.
He did that in a New Year's address earlier. So they've done all the investigation. So they cannot find anything on Guy Joseph. You mean with all the corruption that I was accused of, all of the things I was accused of in government, that's what you have to do? Go back to 2006 and 2011 on an allegation that I offered you a bribe? I want him to bring the documentation or whatever evidence he has, because that never happened to him. And I've said it before that nobody has to offer Richard Frederick a bribe. Okay? So at the end of the day, that is one matter. But the matter that remains the focal point of where we are is what he said about the information. So here's my conclusion. They went to the police to investigate things about me and could not come up with anything because I have a clean record. I've never been involved in breaking the law. I've not been to court, not been in this, not been in that. So apparently, whoever the police officers were bringing him the information realized there's nothing on Guy. So he wants to go and lodge a complaint, a formal complaint. So at least when my name comes up, they will say that there was something on Guy Joseph. But we'll have time to deal with that. You see this bullying by Richard Frederick, and you see this information that is being passed on based on what Cameron Law said. There is evidence that there are police officers feeding Richard Frederick with information about persons in this country. If the Prime Minister will not deal with it, because it's happening in his office, if the police commissioner will not deal with it, then it means that as St. Lucians, we are left to take matters into our own hands, because we have a Prime Minister we can depend on, and we have a police commissioner, and I will give the police commissioner time to deal with this matter. But this is a matter that continues. So I am hoping that when he goes and delivers the letter to the commissioner himself, and I'm waiting for the commissioner to come and investigate me, because I want to know who is going to investigate. Now, here's my problem with the investigation team. We don't know which police officers are giving information to the minister. How will the commissioner go about selecting the officers to give him or to carry out the investigation? I believe that we need to get this investigation done outside of the police force. You cannot have the police investigating themselves. Yes, they can investigate me, but they cannot be investigating themselves. And you see, just like Kenny and Tia knew that they had to go outside to get impacts to come and investigate the police and the alleged extrajudicial killings, I believe in this instance we need an outside entity to investigate what the minister said on there. Because suppose the commissioner go and selects a police officer or two police officers or three police officers to investigate this matter, And these same police officers are the ones giving information to Richard. What is going to happen to that investigation? You think we will have confidence in it? So, Tim, the Lindquist report has quite a bit about the airport. And I will have the opportunity to highlight so much of what transpired and to see how little involvement I had in the financing arrangement for the airport. It's all there in the Lindquist report. Who was negotiating? Who was doing what? So I am looking forward to that opportunity to be able to deal with this matter. But there's going to be no diversion. Richard Frederick must be held accountable. He has broken the law. He is involved in corrupt practices by compiling files and receiving information from police officers. And he can try to use me as a distraction, but he's not going to get away with what he's doing there. And we are going to stay on him, and we are going to stay on this matter until it is dealt with. Thank you, Tim.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling the broadcast. You there from Deputy Political Leader of the Opposition United Workers Party, former Government Minister, Mr. Guy Joseph. More of your calls, your WhatsApp messages, and your discussion still to come on the most monitored talk show in the world.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus takes charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Introducing the new Low Select Virtual Service Desk, where one click is your access to every service. From My Account to Streetlight reports, requests for payment arrangements to settle arrears, change of name and address. Easy online forms give you access from anywhere and at any time. Every service you need at your fingertips. Go to our website, luselect.com, and click on the Virtual Service Desk widget. Luselect's Virtual Service Desk. Every solution at your fingertips.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Things are heating up at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We've got some red-hot deals just for you with 100% financing. Rev up for some excitement with our incredible vehicle loan offer. Building or renovating, we've got you covered. Or pack up for that ideal getaway. This offer won't be available forever. Visit us today and take advantage of this limited time deal. Don't miss out on these fantastic deals with 100% financing. Only at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We're your friend when you're in need.
Fast Pay, a new and easy way to pay. Fast Pay, Fast Pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
Fast Pay, 2 minutes and you're on your way. Fast Pay, Fast Pay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
And he's done it! He's done it! And my goodness, it's gone.
The party is back! Premier Sports Inc. presents the KFC SP SPLT 20. Powered by the National Lotteries Authority. Will defending champions Choiseul Craft Masters retain their crown? Or will they be pulled down? From October 13th to the 28th at the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds and Grosley Playing Field. Grab your tickets now. Fall Gas Station in Grosley, Amici Restaurant and Bar in Rodney Bay, Riverside Car Park in Castries, Soufre Foundation in Soufre, Monrepo, Choiseul and Labrie Credit Union. Tickets are only $15 for adults, $5 for children. VIP $65 and $85. The party is back. The KFC SPLT 20. Powered by the National Lotteries Authority. Show them how to party.
My mindset Lisi, écoutez, on Saturday, October 28th, Project Chocolat is the place to be for Fête Creole. Starting from 7 p.m., we're serving up Creole food so divine, you'll want seconds. Entertainment by the Wuletete Solo Group, the ever electrifying Extreme Band, DJ Rimo, and more. Tickets are $70 for adults over 18, inclusive of mouth-watering bakes, fish cakes, and rich cocoa tea. 13 to 18 years pay half price at the door. Timoon, the little ones, 12 years and under, enter free. Tickets are available at the Cell Outlets Island-wide and Mambo's Bar in Soufre. Project Chocolat, we're celebrating St. Lucian heritage with delicious food, unforgettable fun, and true Lucian spirit. Venez célébrer Fête Creole avec nous at Project Chocolat. This event is endorsed by the FRC.
Can't get a break from all this tax? Head to Automotive Art and get a taxcation. Automotive Art is offering you an ease from VAT and health and safety levy with savings of up to 15% and more. That's right, 15% of all tools, 15% of all accessories, 15% of car detailing, 15% of all rims, 15% of computerized wheel alignment, and 15% and more of selected tires with savings of up to 30% on some sizes. It's Automotive Art Taxcation. Visit us at Automotive Art at Vidbouche Castries and La Tunivier for today and enjoy a taxcation. Offer valid for limited time. Some conditions apply. See stores for details.
Are you working that 9-to-5 job but also juggling a side hustle? Well, Elks Credit Union has great news for you. Introducing Elks Credit Union Side Hustle Boost Loan. Need funds to take your side hustle to the next level? With our Side Hustle Boost Loan, you can access up to $50,000, giving your side hustle the boost it needs. And here's the best part. You'll have up to 5 years to pay back with flexible repayment options that suits your budget. Whether it's expanding your inventory, upgrading your equipment, or marketing your services, Elks Credit Union is here to support your entrepreneurial dreams. Don't let your side hustle remain just a dream. Let Elks Credit Union empower you to turn it into a thriving reality. Boost your side hustle today with Elks Credit Union's Side Hustle Boost Loan. Contact us now or visit our website for more information. Elks Credit Union, your partner in success. Terms and conditions apply.
It's coming. The brunch of the century. Welcome to Sunburnt. Sunday, November 26th. Sunburnt. Sunburnt. It's coming.
Calls right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Kimani, what is in the chat room?
Someone says, but why must this individual continue to implicate this particular colleague and the police in matters that brings integrity into question? Files, bribes, death threats, stalking, what next, Lord? And why is it always this particular individual? Another comment, investigation and investigation without any results. Someone says, wow, I am just so disappointed in what is happening and going on in my country, and no one is trying to help us get or take control of the crime situation.
We have somebody calling from the Diaspora, so I must interrupt you. Kimani, we have a call. Hello, good afternoon. Yes, ma'am, good afternoon to you.
How are you?
I'm okay. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Hi, Kimani. I see you over on the screen.
Hi.
I'm calling because I listen. I don't know what is. I think something has to be mentally wrong with Richard Frederick. I don't understand
why he think everybody that has something to say, he has to find a way to attack them. Now, I don't know if Guy is stupid. If he would offer a bribe and then maybe write it on paper to Richard Frederick, how after so many years you now want to go on and have them investigate a bribe? Did he tape it? Does he, so many things has to be answered. But I'm calling that yesterday's show. And when I hear St. Lucian talk or they behave like they don't know how to go about having this government listen to them. We like it has to be the opposition to organize a strike, or not a strike, a protest or something like that. People forget that we have to sacrifice if you want change. So I'm not saying to go do violence or anything, but they can shut down the country. They can strike. So many things St. Lucians can do so that the Prime Minister pay attention to their suffering, whilst they idly by just being timid. I'm wondering which St. Lucian we're talking about. This is not the St. Lucian that I know that sit around and allow a government to continue having them suffer every day. It's something else in St. Lucia. I am obsessed in listening to news because my heart breaks, for these people struggling, to take up the St. Lucia. So I just want to encourage St. Lucian that they have the power. It is not the government that have the power. St. Lucian, you have the power. If you're tired of this, you can strike. You can do your own protest. You can do whatever you want to do so that the Prime Minister can pay some attention to you. And I really wish Richard would stop trying to be a bully, because it doesn't make sense anymore. That's all I have to say to you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Somebody calling from the diaspora. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a call. Good afternoon. You on the air?
Hello.
Hi. Good afternoon to you.
Jim.
Yeah, Eric. Good afternoon to you.
Wow, you guys still haven't finished that phone, boy.
You just have to speak up. Don't worry. Cope with it.
Tim, I don't even know where to start. Maybe I should start with a little levity. I heard you say a while ago, and I want you to be very careful with your figures of speech, that the Commissioner of Police got another bite of the cherry.
Yeah.
I would want you to be very careful with those kind of words.
Another bite of the cherry, meaning another opportunity to serve
Well,
as police commissioner.
Whatever you might cherry, keep it for yourself when you have to explain to people who will accuse you of using words. Because you never know these days. You have to be very careful with words. Okay. Tim, I am very happy that, again, this matter of this bribe thing is coming up. I'm happy about that because, I've been pushing for it for a long while.
Yeah.
Good. And it goes to show that things don't go away, They come back to bite you in the ass. And last night, between watching Netflix and taking an interest in Mr. Frederick's show, I have to agree with one of your chat room people. First of all, the show drew over 2,000 people. 2,000 people. So maybe you should find out what it is that draws that. If it's the laugh, maybe your laugh is not good enough. There were a number of allegations made, and I should just jump again and say, Tim, we're supposed to have free will, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yes.
We are supposed to have free will, born with free will. But I'm reading a book on that right now, and it makes a very interesting point that we are all born into different families, the way we are brought up, etc., etc. And that has an effect on how we think and how we determine things. And we're all different, so the book insists that nobody has free will. Too much is dependent on too many things. Okay. But people say what they want, and I like to throw these things at you. Just listen to this. There is a high level of corruption within the Royal St. Lucia Police Force which seems to have a devastating and debilitating effect on the strategic and operational objectives of the organization, which will require significant effort to eradicate and reform. This impacts seriously on service delivery, as there is a strong indication that a large sector of the public has lost confidence and trust in the very organization that is mandated to keep them safe and secure. The corruption identified can be characterized as one that is internally networked. It involves specialists or closely formed groups working together who often carry out more organized and entrenched activities with the forming of corrupt relationships with criminal or covert human intelligence sources, and which involves the leaking of confidential information to criminals. Okay. Now, I don't know if you have the videos on hand, but I'm a stickler for words. I heard Mr. Frederick last night talking about how Alan Shastney had written a letter to the police commissioner accusing him of handling confidential information and so on. And he rightly made a point that he never used that word and so on. Do you have the tape handy?
No, I don't have it. I don't have it right now.
You don't have it?
No, I don't. Not right now.
Is that what you said?
Yes, I don't.
You do?
I do not.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking from memory, recently refreshed, I think what Mr. Frederick said was, initially, the police keep on feeding me information.
Which clip are you talking about? The clip of Richard Frederick making the initial revelation?
Yeah.
Yes, we do have that clip.
You have it?
Yes.
Is that, if it's accessible, I would like to make sure I'm correct.
Yeah, can we just play the clip of
that
Mr.
the police keep feeding me.
Yeah, let's play the clip now. Hold on, Rick. Let's play the clip.
Yeah.
And all what I say, I have a file big so. You know? I have a file big so. Because the police officers just started feeding me with the information I needed.
Okay, you heard, Rick?
I can't hear it, but I'm hoping your people will hear it. Was I correct on that?
Yeah, he said that the police kept feeding me with the information that I needed.
And was that the clip where he showed the size of the files?
Yes, he did. Yes, that's the clip.
Okay. Now, last night, he explained that what he meant was the police were giving him disclosure because he was defending somebody in a case against
Deal Elliott.
Mm-hmm. Do you have that handy?
I don't think. No, we don't. Last evening's clip. No, we don't. We don't.
But in any event, Tim, I am reliably informed that disclosure does not come from police feeding you files. Okay? If you're in a case and you find you don't have enough disclosure, enough information, or it comes from the DPP's office, the prosecuting arm of the police. That police officers don't just send you files and send you information, etc. You with me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm informed.
Okay.
And if it is a civil case, like you and me, if I need any further information that I should have, you being the claimant, my lawyer will write to your lawyer for whatever he needs, the disclosure he needs.
Right.
So, by everything I have been able to investigate, it has nothing to do with police officers sending you files or keep feeding you information. Okay? So, I want to say that. Now, to get back to what I just read there to you. Oh, interestingly, Mr. Frederick also said that, where was I now? Yeah. Dale Elliott asked a question of the Prime Minister. And Mr. Frederick's reaction to that after he played it, I thought he was going to, go into what is really going on, but he was more concerned with where did Dale Elliott get the information to ask that question. That's a strange reaction, don't you think?
Yeah.
Because after all, Dale can ask any question he wants, and it's for the Prime Minister to answer it any way he wants.
And at that point, I don't think you can really question his motive or what prompted him to ask that question.
Oh, everybody knows reporters don't reveal their sources.
Yeah, they ought not to, yes.
But for some reason, Mr. Frederick seemed more interested in where Dale's information came from. And if you had the clip, you would see that he was suggesting maybe it came from the DPP's office, maybe from a policeman. And I thought that was very, very intuitive of Mr. Frederick, because that is precisely what is being asked now, an investigation into what papers, what files he was being fed by the police and what were the circumstances. And he himself was asking that question, where did Dale get that information from?
Yeah.
Did some policeman give it to him? Or did somebody, a mole in the DPP's office, do it? See what I mean, Tim?
Yeah.
You see how this thing work out? So, there are a lot of questions waiting to be answered in the best interest of the populace.
But the issue is, Rick, whether those questions will be answered and who will be providing the explanations.
Well, if we go as normally, they will not be answered. In fact, you raise a point. Yesterday, somebody was admonishing me for something I did not do. Said to me that I said on your show this week that we were on the cusp of being like Haiti. And I said that's not one of my favorite words, so I doubt I did. And whatever other word that would indicate that, I never did that either. What I did say to you is that when you have crime in a country like this, violent crime in a country like we have right now, with no breaks, with a former prime minister and rep telling you that the police are too scared to go in there, that means gang violence, etc., on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And if crime and gang violence and shooting of people goes unchecked, without any policing, without any arresting, etc., it is inevitable we are going to find ourselves where Haiti is right now. That's reasonable, isn't it?
It is.
So I was not saying we are on the cusp, and I don't think either we should be waiting until we are on the cusp to warn the population that Kenny Anthony has already stated the police don't go into the hot spots. And I just read you something there, and by the way, it is from the impact report, much of which Kenny Anthony read publicly. And I want people to go on the government website, and they will find Kenny Anthony's speeches in 2013 and 2015 on impacts, the things he said. All there for them to check for themselves and take their time reading. So impacts remains unresolved, and Kenny Anthony has noted that it must be resolved because the exhaust from that is causing the country major problems, including that crime is on its own, unpoliced, because our police are too scared. There's also, in that report, I just read you the part there, it is talking about collusion of police and criminals, which is what Kenny Anthony said also. So this is something, and I don't know how the police can investigate themselves, as Guy just said. I don't know how they can investigate. And if they do nothing, well, citizens who are going to accept that, get ready to have your home invaded, because we actually have laws now that the police can come into your house, whether you like it or not, and do what they want with impunity. You have laws that say that. Okay? What do you call it? Escalated crime or something like that effect?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So,
correct.
if I told you last night, I was jealous of Mr. Frederick that he had a viewership of some, or at least an audience, on Facebook alone of over 2,000. Okay? Now, whether it's just curiosity or not, a lot of people are getting that information, and when the authorities refuse to offer a more reliable bag of information, it's almost as if they in collusion, that they want people to hear what Mr. Frederick is saying and no other side to the story, because we don't have a functioning media and life is at stake. The police right now has been put in a position of self-defense. I do not expect the police to come forward with any kind of information that would indict them. So the police are now pushed into a situation of covering up for themselves, maybe, covering up for other people, maybe. And we don't know how many ministers of government themselves have their particular sources in the police force. St. Lucia, I warn you, and I'm not saying, by the way, I always have to add that part. The problems we are facing now is not just this administration created. It has been created by various administrations left to their own devices, and people don't care. So all those people who have died in Beaufort and before Beaufort, who died at the time of Operation Restore Confidence, as Operation Rescue St. Lucia, and then you get to people like Belinda Joseph and the young lady who was killed in her home, and so on and so on. All of those killings that are unresolved now have to be looked at with suspicion, because there's been no resolutions to the claims that Kenny Anthony's investigators gave him to. St. Lucia, you have been warned yet again. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Rick. Some quick comments in the chat room before we conclude the broadcast. Kimani.
Someone says Richard Frederick, the police commissioner, and the prime minister should all resign after the revelation by Richard Frederick. Someone says getting a dose of his own medicine. Another comment in the chat room. What an embarrassment, what a shame and disgrace brought upon this country and its people. Someone is asking who is really running this country. Another comment, that's why the public will be reluctant to provide the police with any information. Another comment, I keep preaching my people, innocent until proven guilty. Let's talk about what we know, let's talk the facts. We're causing unnecessary back and forth. Another comment, all the politicians have to do is put something out there and the public are jump in a frenzy. We should just sit back and watch them go at it, then see who is really telling the truth. We like too much row. Another comment in the chat room, someone says, Tim, now it's the MP versus the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. When will this foolishness stop in this country? Another comment, an accusation is quite different from an allegation, Tim. That is why no legal action can be taken. Someone asked, why is it that Lisa Jawa here has no problem with a member of cabinet lambasting individuals weekly, SMH? What's wrong with the PWA saying that these allegations are very serious and should be investigated? I totally agree with the president. The president is there to protect the welfare of his members. That is it.
Thank you so much. Let's conclude with an update on the weather, and it's by Andre Joye, who is the Chief Meteorological Officer in St. Lucia, because we've been talking about Tammy and the expected effects of that storm. A hurricane watch is in effect for a number of Caribbean islands: Guadeloupe, Antigua and Barbuda, Montserrat, St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla, also St. Barthélemy, St. Martin, as well as St. Martin. And while a tropical storm warning is in effect for Dominica, Barbados, Martinique, Saba, and St. Eustatius, nonetheless, Tammy is expected to affect St. Lucia. To what extent? Here is Mr. Andre Joye.
The update on Hurricane Tammy. At 11 a.m., the center of Hurricane Tammy was located near latitude 14.1 degrees north, longitude 58.6 degrees west. This is about 161 miles or 259 kilometers east of St. Lucia. Tammy is moving towards the west-northwest near 7 miles per hour, and this general motion is expected to continue this afternoon. On the forecast track, Tammy is expected to pass north of St. Lucia and affect the other islands further north. But because of the close proximity of the hurricane, we asking residents and motorists in areas prone to flooding and landslides to exercise caution, because we could get rainfall from this system, and persons should take the necessary precautions. The feeder band from the hurricane can easily cause flash flooding to low-lying areas. We're also asking small craft operators and sea bavers to exercise caution, because the seas are already rough. We are receiving swells on our east coast, so we are already feeling the effects of Tropical Storm Tammy. So residents should always listen to the weather reports from the Met Service, as it is reliable information. So do be careful. Thank
you so much. You just heard there from the Director of Met Services, Mr. Andre Joye, who's hoping that you'll have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend. We'll be back, God willing, Monday afternoon, 12:30, with another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world, NewsSpin. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye.